Ali.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
How are you?
I'm fantastic. So good to see you. How's everything going over there?
Great. Blessed.
Bless.
Definitely.
Well,
Yeah.
first of all, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, away from your family, to be our guest on the Fit Rockstarpreneur show.
For sure.
We're very, very excited to hear your story today. We're very, very excited to hear what you have going on today. So, before we even, get into the nitty gritty about, your journey and your story, do you remember how we actually met?
I want to say it was at Bella Guy. I think that's where I first met you.
Okay. That
I
sounds
came
about
to
right.
your fit camp. Yeah. Elise brought me to your fit camp, and she was like, I was just there to work out. And I just remember you coming out. You had this big old smile, like crazy high energy. I was like, damn, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what did I just get myself into? Like, but it was great. It was great. Your energy was so welcoming. Like I remember that. Like that's what made me be like, all right, cool.
That's
I'm
awesome.
here with family. Yeah.
That's awesome. So that's good. So I got the same impression of you when I first met you. At least brought you in. I seen that you was very, very energetic. You was, trying to see what was going on. What is this place? So she came to our nutrition club. Actually, my sister-in-law boarded there. I liked the way that you was up for the challenge. That we delivered. Warriors Camp was always a mental challenge.
What? Mental more than anything.
Yeah. Then you got me out there yelling at you. Always just to inspire and to push. So that's awesome. And I remember that story like it was yesterday. It's crazy because time fly. I believe that was about 5 years ago. And
yeah, I want to say it was. I think like 2015.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Dang.
Yeah. And now look at the growth from, both sides of the fence. So all right, so where you originally from? Are you from Miami?
I was born in Panama, raised in Miami.
Okay.
So
awesome.
I came here when I was 1 year old. Yeah, Panama is pretty cool. I still haven't been back, so I couldn't say what it's like or anything. I moved here when I was 1.
Right.
But yeah, I've known Miami majority of my life. I've moved to other different places, but Miami has been home. Which
awesome.
is where I'm at now. Yeah.
That's awesome. So all right, so you born in Panama, moved here when you were 1 years old. What made you guys want to move to Miami from Panama?
I believe my parents, I really don't know the full background story, but my parents, I know when we were in Panama, that was around the time they were trying to get Noriega out.
Okay.
And it was 1989, and that's when they they had already planned to move. Stuff was already packed, ready. Okay. I think they were just waiting for the house here to be finished.
Okay, awesome.
But from one day to the next, they bombed, and we pretty much had to leave.
Wow.
And so they got us on the first plane out. My parents lost everything. We had to move to Fort Lauderdale first.
Okay.
Yeah. We had to move to Fort Lauderdale first because the house still wasn't ready. That's all they were waiting for. And then finally, when the house was ready, we got to move. And that's been home for 30 years now.
Wow. I mean, who wouldn't want to live in Miami,
Right.
I lived in Philly for 26 years, but, I've been coming out to Miami since I was about 19 years old. And this is the first time I ever jumped off the plane. I was like, oh man, this is beautiful. Like the people was beautiful. The whole energy was vibrant. Palm trees, the beach, the weather. Yeah, it's summer. It's summer. 11 and a half months out of the year. How can we go wrong here? So that's awesome. So move from Panama out here to Fort Lauderdale, then Miami. At what age were you introduced to health and fitness and sports?
Let's see. When I was in middle school.
Okay.
So what's that? Maybe, I don't even know what age that was, but middle school.
So that's like
around that time, I was very, very overweight.
Okay.
And I was having a lot of issues with my asthma. I was very asthmatic as a child, and just around that time, my dad started doing his own little research, and he was like, well, let's take you to your pediatrician, see how we can get you just to lose some weight.
Right.
And so my dad put me in basketball. They took me to the pediatrician, and my pediatrician was like, oh, we're going to get you on this Atkins diet. So I don't know if you ever heard of Atkins.
Yes, I did.
No carbs. Yeah, all right, no carbs. So I did that to start to get myself, but I was a kid. I want my bread. I want pizza. I didn't really stick to it. I was
peanut butter and jelly. Grilled cheese, like bring it on. That's dope.
So I was still playing basketball though, so that I kept active with that, but I wasn't seeing no results because I was still eating what I wanted.
Right.
But then when I got to high school, I got a little more serious on that Atkins diet, and from like sophomore year to like my senior year, I was hardcore with it. But I was a stick, right? Ooh, I was skinny.
I can imagine.
Yeah, but in middle school is when it all started. Like that's where
awesome.
my first introduction to basketball, and then fast forward into college, 2012. That's when I really started going hard on fitness.
Well, I heard you was it on that on that basketball court in college.
Yeah.
So what college did you attend and play for?
I ended up going to well, I didn't play in college because like senior year, career-ending injury.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So but I ended up going to FAMU. My goal was to go play at Liberty University in Virginia.
Okay.
That's where I had a full ride with them. But like I said, senior year, it was like my ankle dislocated, popped out, popped back in. Wow. And after that, like my trainer told me, if I just stick to what he's telling me, stay off of it for however long, I could get back to 100%. Again, me being a kid, the teenager I was, I gotta play.
Right.
4 weeks of just being off of it. Right.
Yeah, fearless mentality.
He told me to stay off of it for 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
4 weeks, I was back on the court. I was like, wow. I gotta play. But then I injured it again. So it was just like back to back to back. And I was like, yeah, at that point I had to think to myself, like, is this the route I want to go? Like,
right.
I keep injuring myself. I'm not, something's just not clicking. The universe must be telling me something. And so I just threw in the towel with basketball, and I took a scholarship to go to FAMU for pharmacy.
Okay. So you
did academics.
So you study pharmacy there? Is that that's what your degree is in?
No, my degree is in molecular cell biology.
Okay. All right. So biology go hand in hand with fitness anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. That's good.
That also helped a lot. Yeah. Especially like with the nutrition aspect, because in the beginning, I just started working out, and everything, was just all fitness, workout. But I wasn't eating right. I wasn't watching what I'm putting in, if I'm getting enough fiber, if I'm getting enough vitamins, none of that.
Macros, micros, the whole science.
And then when I made the switch to molecular cell biology, I took this one class. It was called vertebral physiology, which is literally how everything on the inside works.
Right.
I was like, dang, so you telling me, like, legit what I put in my body is legit what I'm getting out. Like, it just clicked. And I was like, I gotta change. Yeah, so
incredible.
That helped spark that change, yeah.
Okay, so you're in FAMU. You started to go there for pharmacy, switch it over to your biology major. So is that where you start working out, like turning into a beast? The beast that you are now, was that started in college or after college?
Yeah.
Like what triggered that? So what triggered that? Like what events made you say, listen, I want to get healthy. I want to start running. I want to start hitting these weights. I really need to change the inside of my body, outside of my body. What happened?
The switch came. It was a picture I took of myself. So at the time I was dating someone, and I wanted to send her a picture. So I was in my sports bra and basketball shorts. I thought I was looking good, right?
I know that's right.
I got the picture, and I just remember looking back at the picture like, dang, that's what I look like? I was like, nah. And I remember within that week after that picture, I went and got a scale. I hopped on it, and I was like 256 pounds. I was
Can't be right.
Whoa, I've never been this big in my life. That's all I remember thinking to myself. And so I was like, nah, I got to make a change. Like, something has to change. And so I started, like I said, with the workouts. So P90X was the very first workout I started doing.
Okay.
It was all right. Caught my attention, especially with the weights and stuff. So I was like, all right, this is cool, learning new things. And then I started doing Insanity. And around that time is when I took that class that taught me, about nutrition. So whole switch, just all of that in the same time frame, that really helped that spark. And from 2012 on, like that's really been that's where
awesome.
I started back in 2012. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. So all right, you get into health and fitness in college, you get out of college, right? So do you immediately come out of college and jump into the health and fitness, into the fitness business? Like, do you immediately become a fitness instructor, or what was your steps to becoming a fitness instructor?
No, I did not jump right into it.
Okay.
Once I graduated, my goal ultimately was to get a job within that field.
Right.
I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to be more in the hospital scene, because at that time I still wanted to go to med school. I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
And so I was still doing research for that, and I was like, well, I need to get in the hospital, get my feet wet, see what's going on. So when I came back, I ended up enrolling in Miami-Dade to become a phlebotomist. Okay. So I got my certification in that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's crazy. It's going to sound crazy, but I really enjoy it.
That's awesome.
Good.
That's cool. I like it. I'm a science geek too. Undercover science geek too.
All Right. And I still do it to this day. But
That's awesome.
so, you know, I got a job at the hospital, at Baptist Hospital, and,
Okay.
you know, it was cool being in the lab, and like I started learning more, and a lot of the stuff we did in the lab was exactly what I would do in school. So I
Okay.
was like, all right, what I'm supposed to be doing. So at the same time, like, I was still, you know, trying to keep up with my workouts, this, that, and the other. And then I want to say it was around 2015 when
Okay.
Elise, she knew I was working out, and she started going to the fit camp.
Right.
And that's when it was like, yeah, you should come. And then so that's when I started going to your fit camp.
Okay.
And I remember it was one day you were like, why don't you teach a boot camp? I was like,
I remember that day. I remember that day.
Yeah, it never crossed my mind to teach a boot camp. I honestly never thought about being a personal trainer. Like, I knew I liked to help people.
Right.
And I thought the only way to do this, I have to be a doctor because, you know, I've done so much schooling. I have to keep going with that.
Right.
But then when you asked me that question, it was like the brakes came. Like,
nice.
There's a whole nother way I can be helping people. Like, it doesn't have to be going this route that I'm straddling the fence. I don't know if I want to do. No. So when you asked me that question, that was honestly like a huge turnaround for me. And I was like,
that's awesome. Threw you to the wolves.
Yeah.
Threw you to the wolves.
I needed that. I needed that.
Good. We all do.
Yeah, I needed that.
Okay. So you're at fit camp. I asked you to teach a class. Okay, now I remember this day like the back of my hand. Okay,
Ooh,
so
I was nervous.
So how did you did you prepare for it, or did you just go out there and just start freestyling the workout?
In the beginning, I did prepare for it.
Okay.
I did. I remember writing down this workout, what I wanted to do, everything I wanted to do, and I can't remember if I had forgot the paper or I did something. I basically didn't have the paper with me.
Right.
And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, I know this. I know what I want to do. And I remember, like, what you taught me. I remember workouts I'd done on my own. So I was like, I got this. So it was like half freestyle, half prepared. But I just basically used all the tools that you gave me and all the tools that I've had from working out before. And yeah, it was a dope workout. I'm not going to lie.
Yes, it was. Hey, listen. If it doesn't scare the crap out of you, it's not worth doing it.
And I didn't understand that back then. I remember you always used to tell us that, like, if it doesn't scare you or if it's not, you know, got you on the fence of like feeling a little fear, then it's not for you. Back then I didn't get that. But now I'm like, dang, almost everything you've ever taught me now is when I'm like, boom, like the fireworks. It makes sense.
That's
like,
awesome.
Everything makes sense.
That's awesome. It's nothing that fills my heart more than going on your social media page and seeing like where you came from, and then seeing where you're at right now. Like going from the time that you taught that boot camp, and then after you taught that boot camp, you taught multiple boot camps. You know, at the camp, and everybody loved you. Everybody loved your energy. It was like you were like baby K out there. You see what I'm saying? So it was and you actually, I think you're the one who actually started, you know, the Papa K term. Was that
yeah, because I would call you Papa K.
Yeah, I was on my, you know, protecting my pups, you know, so that's awesome. So you get out there, you teaching fit camp. Next thing you know, you're teaching multiple fit camps. I remember you moved for a minute, correct? You moved out of Miami, okay, and you actually start implementing, you know, what you learned in school and what you learned from, you know, being a trainer in a new city that you lived in, and then you came. It's a new state, which could be very scary, you know. And then you came back here, and then you actually blew up. So, so what inspired you to take this on full time? Like, this is what I want to do. I went to school, you know, I learned a lot. You know, the books are good, but this is really, really what I want to do because I see what you're doing right now, and it's mind blowing. I love it. It really, really makes my heart, you know, warm. You know, seeing all these people, you know, engage to your classes. You engaged to them. So what events happened to make you want to move back to Miami and really, really explode?
Well, where I moved was Mississippi.
Okay.
And being out there, it was a huge culture shock for me, you know, coming from Miami and going to Mississippi. I don't know if anyone knows that much about Mississippi, but they have a lot of small towns, big open green trees. You know, it's nothing like Miami where you see the buildings, and nothing like Miami.
Right.
So being there, I had a lot of time to myself because I was there to live with my partner. So I only knew her. And, you know, at the time I had a lot of time to myself. So that helped. She taught me, she helped me with, like, meditation and mindfulness and yoga. And so using those tools, I was able to, center myself and really figure out, what do I want to do? And ultimately, like, my answer was always help people.
Right.
Okay, in what ways? And I started having to dig deeper, how can I help people? What can I do? And it all started with me sharing my journey. And one huge inspiration is definitely my partner, Liv. Like, she's a Liv. Yeah, shout out to Liv. She's a business owner, and just being behind the scenes with her, witnessing like the things that she went through and just her growth and her journey, it made me want to step up. When you're with somebody, either you step up or get left behind pretty much. So, I started doing little things here and there, but I wasn't tapping into my full potential.
Right.
And, it started to reflect in our relationship. So reason why I moved back, we ended up splitting up. We separated for about a year. And when I moved back, I'll be honest, when I moved back, I was like lost. I was like, what do I do now?
Where do I start?
Right. Where do I start? That was one huge question. And I remember being here. Sorry, my baby.
Excited too. Everybody's excited.
Moving back here, I remember her telling me about this like Strong by Zumba program.
Right.
And so I met someone who is a Strong by Zumba instructor, and I was like, well, you know what? Why don't I just do this? I took one class, and after that one class, I was like, I can teach this.
Right.
And so I got certified, I got licensed, and ever since then, it's just history itself. Like, I've just been that, but using that as my like fuel to get into these classes and teach people about nutrition, eating right and keeping the body moving, and not only what you eat, but like what you're thinking, and just be more aware of that mind-body connection.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. So license, strong Zumba instructor. What does strong Zumba actually consist of? Would you like to break that down for people that don't know?
So originally it was called Strong by Zumba. Now it's called Strong Nation.
Okay, I like that.
Basically, it's made from the creator of Zumba.
Okay.
He wanted something that would be more intense, something that'll get people's, strength building. So it's a mixture of like HIIT training, mixed martial arts, cardio, all the crazy stuff you could think of put into one.
Right.
And what's dope about this workout, every beat has a move, and every move has a beat. So like when you're punching, there's a beat. When you're squatting, there's a beat. You're doing burpees, you're going for the beat. So it makes you want to keep up. Right. You can modify, you can go full out, you can just keep it wherever you're at. But that's what I love about it. Like, there's different levels to it. Everything goes to the beat of the music. So
like choreography, kind of like choreography.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
That's awesome.
And what's dope, what really like drew me into that, when I was in Mississippi, I was teaching group fitness classes, like in the studio that Liv owned, and I created my own thing called Cardio Fit. And everything, all the jumping jacks, everything was synced to the beat of the music. This was before I even knew about Strong. And then so when Strong came along, I was like, okay, so now, I'm using that like to help me out too. And yeah, it's just been a dope experience.
That's awesome. So you teach Strong Zumba, and thanks for breaking it down. Well, Strong Nation, thanks for breaking it down. What other specialty classes do you teach? So group fitness, Strong Nation, and what else? Yoga, right? You still teach yoga?
I don't teach yoga. I take yoga. But like I lead my partner through flows because she's a yoga instructor. So who's instructing the instructor?
I need to do some yoga too, man. Woo.
Oh man, it's so amazing. Come through. I do. We have a whole in-home studio.
I need to come through when all is over. Really, I'm so tight. I'm always so tight. And every time I do go to yoga, like I get my butt kicked every time I go. I can admit it. The instructor always have to take away from the class. I know, big strong Coach K, right? Instructor always got to stop doing what they're doing to come help me, but I always feel, the energy is so radiant from Zumba. I always come out there, spiritually healed, and also, my muscles always feel relaxed. So I love yoga, man. But believe it or not, I love it. So, all right. So I'm sorry. So Strong Nation, group fitness, yoga. That's your thing. And what else do you teach?
I do personal training. I also do, like, within the group fitness, I do strength training.
Okay.
And I'm working on bringing back my own version, my cardio fit. Like, so I'm working on that again to bring that, to have my own thing. Because it's cool to be, like, one thing I'm learning, like, as I grow, a lot of these things like Strong Nation or even working at 24, like, being up under someone, I'm using it to learn. like taking
Being
so
a
much, just like
student.
when I was with you. Yeah, just like when I was with you, just taking in everything, and even stuff I've learned back in 2015, still implementing it into
That's
my
awesome.
life today. So, you know, creating like my own whatever, like
Right.
my own, you know,
Right.
and just not only focusing just on fitness, just on any way, like how can I be of help to
Right.
people?
How can you build relationships with people
Right,
mentally, emotionally, spiritually,
right,
financially and physically? So that's awesome. So
yep.
you're used to these big classes, right? And
Hmm.
unfortunately, we're going through a rough time.
Right.
Not just in America but throughout the world. And you're used
Mhm.
to, being around people where you could touch and you could feel them. We've been on quarantine. So what have you been doing lately, to help people what you love doing, to help inspire and motivate people and also keep them healthy during the quarantine?
Yeah. So yeah, quarantine's been interesting. I'm not used to being home so much. I'll say that
Me
much.
neither.
But
I'm not a homebody at all.
right,
I'm a
I'm
street urchin.
not. So,
I'm a stray
I'm
dog
not
in the
like,
street.
right. I just want to go. Let me explore. So being home has been it was challenging for me in the beginning because
Okay.
you know, I do have a job, so of course my job closed down, the gym closed down, so it was like, what do I do? So
Right.
for like the first few weeks, I felt like I was just in like this fog of confusion,
Right.
and so I really upped my meditation from just like sitting for a few minutes and then going about my day. So I actually like started sitting and asking myself questions like, what can I do? Like
Right.
when the motivation leaves, when the inspiration isn't there, like what can I do? And I know I'm disciplined.
Right.
So what I would start doing, I'll work out and just record myself
Okay.
and, you know, put it on my page or put my workouts on my stories. And then I started noticing like my students are getting engaged and they're like, oh
Nice.
yeah, I love that. So I started doing a few live classes here and there. And I was like, all
Nice.
right, this is dope. So currently right now, my main project has been working on my YouTube channel.
Nice.
So that way anyone can come, you know, pick a workout they want to do whatever day, it doesn't matter, you know,
Right.
just have access.
I like
And
that.
so I've been doing that and, you know, reaching out to the students that I know who are there and
Okay.
posting my workouts, staying active,
Okay.
definitely.
I like that.
Definitely.
That's I
Yeah.
mean that's unfortunately that's where we're at. We don't know how long we're going to be there. So I like the fact that you took your mentality from always wanting to help people, always wanting to inspire people, motivate people, and be able to touch people. And now, unfortunately, we can't touch them. So you decided to take your classes, online, structured, and they could pick it. I like that because same with me. Like I've been doing online training for like about 6.5 years. I kind of started my online training before we actually opened up our own nutrition club when I was just a personal trainer and a boot camp instructor. And it was doing good then before they changed the whole algorithm of YouTube. And now
Yeah.
I find myself doing the same thing, like back to just figuring out a way I could give people what they want and what they need when they need it. So I never really like same thing. I was in the twilight zone for like the first, week or two when the whole quarantine happened, just not knowing like, all right, maybe this will blow over. But now I see that it's kind of, got to stagnated and who knows, we might be here for a couple months. I like
Right.
that idea of what you're doing because I like the live classes too. I tried it, but the thing is with the live is you just don't know when people have time to be with you. So
Exactly.
you feel me? So instead of I was going on Facebook who want to work out at 10 a.m. and then, you got 30 people say they want to do it. Then you got, 4 people on the live,
Right.
which I don't mind. I don't mind taking baby steps, but we already
I'll do the
developed.
one.
Yeah, we already developed.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be 30 people there. So I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. So if I see we got a lot of fitness people, shout out to Philly, Mexico, Homestead, Miami, New Jersey, Delaware, and New York in the building. So I like that. So I'm pretty sure you just gave some people some insight because a lot of people, not to take nothing away from the live, but I see a lot of close friends of mine, going live with the fitness, and then if it don't work for a week or two, and consistency is key. They hit me up like, "Yo, what's going on?" I'm like, "What are you doing? I don't see you doing the live workouts." I said, "I'm not doing the live workouts. I'm
Right.
recording it and then I'm putting it somewhere where people can see it. So that's great. I appreciate you sharing that. So got the online going on right now. Being as though that we're on lockdown. One thing that I do that I love everything about you. We're family. I love everything
I
about
love
you.
you.
But oh, I love you too. So like I was a vegan from the age of 1 to 14. I was a vegan. I became a vegetarian to like about 15. I'm talking about like no type of meat, like nothing. Everything was just
You?
soybeans. Yeah, I grew up like that. Yeah,
What?
yeah, crazy, right? Now, oh, that's why I eat like an animal now. But I'm actually thinking about it. I'm thinking about going back to, my roots. Yeah, my
Okay.
mom and my dad was health nuts. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're health
Okay.
nuts. Like my
Yeah.
mom was a health nut like her whole entire life. God rest her soul. Like she brought me
Right.
into the whole, fitness and she brought me into the health aspect of it. My dad was the one. I wanted to play baseball. My dad wanted to take me to the boxing gym. I want to play basketball. He wanted to take me on the football field. So my dad was like the roughneck. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know that you're a vegan, right? Would you like to share like what happened in your life that inspired you to become a vegan and how long you've been a vegan?
All right, yeah. So, well, as you know, I have not always been a vegan. I
Right.
am Puerto Rican Dominican, so definitely grew up Hispanic.
Yes.
Definitely grew up Hispanic. I mean, eating all types of animal products like that you can think of.
Right.
The inspiration came in 2015
Okay.
while I was still doing Herbalife. I met Liv at the same time, and
Right.
she's been vegan. She's been vegan, I think, 2 years prior to my decision to go vegan.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what time frame that was, but anyway, she was already vegan. And I was like, vegan? I had never heard of this. I've heard of vegetarian, but vegan. I was like,
Right.
what's that? She's like, all she ever told me was do your research. She never like pushed it on me.
That's
She was
awesome.
never like, oh, you shouldn't eat this. All she ever said was do your research. Like if you have questions, go find out, find your answer. I was like, all right, cool. And she would give me little tips here and there, like this is what she eats, this is what she doesn't eat.
Right.
And I was like, all right, cool. So, but at that time we're still long distance. So
Right.
I was like, I started doing more research. What am I putting into my body?
Right.
And when it came to ingredients, I was like, well, if I can't read it, I'm not going to eat it. I don't want to put that inside of me. And so that was another huge thing on why I also stopped doing Herbalife, just because some of the ingredients, for me, if I don't understand it, I don't want it. So I don't do much processed foods, period. So like with anything, like I try to stay away from that. But the change came, I started doing vegetarian, but I was still like, I felt like I needed my protein, I needed this, so I was eating fish. I was eating a lot of fish. And then I remember at the end of 2015, Liv came to visit, and she was here for a week. So for a whole week, I did vegan. Like I completely stopped doing any type of animal products. And she left. I tried to go back to eating fish. My body was like, what are you doing? Like,
get this out of me. Get it out of me.
So I just knew, like it just clicked. I was like, dang, if my body is responding like this, then maybe it's time to just completely stop. And so I did. And initially I switched because I wanted to lose weight. I had hit a plateau. And I was like, my goal weight was always 180. And I was stuck at like 207. Then I went down like 190, then back up. So it was just like fluctuating.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
5'10".
5'10". Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
180 makes sense.
Fluctating between the weight. And so I was like, all right. So I asked Liv, I was like, can I lose weight being vegan? She's like, I mean, it's possible. And I was like, I'll try it. I mean, I had tried so much within my life, like my weight has always been a problem. I was down to try anything.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'll try being vegan. And I did. And like the first week, the experience I had, it was like a roller coaster. Like some days were great, some days I felt like low. But I realized that was my body just going through withdrawals, getting rid of what didn't need to be there, taking in what does need to be there. All right, now what do we do with this? And okay, let's move forward. So once I got through that week, like the first 3 months, I felt so amazing. Like so light on my feet. And it wasn't even about the scale. I don't even think I got back on the scale after that. It was just the
Scale's
energy.
A liar anyway.
Right.
Scale is a liar anyway.
It really is.
Bold-faced lie.
Right, like I barely get on that thing, but like those numbers used to mess with me. So now it's like I don't even think about that. Like I really focus on how I feel. Can I complete this run without feeling like I'm about to die? Can I do my work? Can I teach my classes? Am I able to speak while I'm moving? That's so important to me. And so focusing on breath work and everything. But once I made that switch, like I just knew there was no going back.
That's awesome.
Now it's like the more research I did and the more I found out like where my food was coming from, how like animals are treated and just the planet, just everything started making sense. And I have 2 pups, Molly and Zeus. And I was thinking like, I can't differentiate Molly and Zeus from a cow. I can't differentiate them, they're beings, they're animals, they're living. So that's where my mindset is now. In the beginning, it was just, I want to lose weight. But now it's like, I want to do my part. I want to help. And that's awesome. Another point of hoping. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
That's a great answer because you're not just becoming vegan because, because of you don't want to eat meat. You became a vegan because you see the whole total outlook. Like, as animals being affected. Ooh, iPad almost fell. Yeah, nice, thank you. So the whole outlook is like, oh man, as animals being affected, and it's crazy. We was just watching the video. I was just watching the video with my son, like, about, you know, with the pigs, what they're doing with the pigs right now, what they're doing with the crops, with the fish and the cows, and it's like really made me think. Like, I never had pork one day in my life, so I can never tell you about pork. But you know, I try to have beef like once a month just for the iron, and I'm even thinking about taking that out because exactly what you said, like what they're doing to these animals is just it's trifling. It's trifling. It's disturbing.
Right.
So,
And one thing to think about too, because when we eat animals, we're eating muscle, and muscle contains the blood, the hormones, all the stuff that flows through it. So you have to think, what state was that animal in when it was killed?
right,
Obviously not a good state. I mean, I don't know who's going to be in a good state when they're about to get the drugs. So we're eating the fear, we're eating the anger, whatever they may be feeling at that moment. We're ingesting this, and just like my partner was the one who put this in my mind. Like, just to even think of it like that, I'm like, dang, I don't want that inside of me. Like, oh, if I'm sitting here really focusing on being a better person, how can I if I'm trying to give life, how can I eat death and you know, still try to breathe life? Like that, it just doesn't make sense.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Yeah. I need to write that down. That's a great way to see it. So, all right. So you've been vegan for about 5 years now, or like about 4.5 years now?
Let's see. It was 2016, so yeah, 4.5.
So 4.5 years. Okay, awesome. So what are you doing right now? Like, what's going on right now that's keeping you motivated? You know, that's keeping your drive, to keep, you know, motivating, inspiring people, to keep working on yourself. Because what I'm seeing so much, and it hurts. I see a lot of people just letting themselves go. I see people that I love and I followed and watched for years, you know, that I never seen with nothing before. Like, you could count on one hand the times you seen me with a bottle of anything, liquor in my hands. You see me on social media, you know. So it hurts for me to see so many people that inspire and motivate me, and thousands of people to just get get destroyed from what this pandemic right now. So what is motivating you from not going to do bad habits and continuously working on yourself and working on others?
There's a lot of motivation. I would say, like, I'll give you a few things. So, like, one major thing is definitely my mindset. Okay. I know this isn't forever. And even if it is, like, my surroundings, my environment, the people I allow into my life, like, everything has been positive. Like, I see that too on my feed. You know, a lot of people taking this negatively or moving through it, you know, with a mindset of negativity. But when I really sit back and look at my life through this whole pandemic, everything's been positive around me. Like, my experience has been completely different. Like, I've really enjoyed this. Although it was challenging to get used to being home, you know, even though I'm home, okay, there's so many projects I can work on. And, you know, we're growing our own garden, like just doing different things and stuff that it's positive and keeping my mind going and not just filling a void. Like, if there's a void there, okay, what can I do? Can I get on my mat? Can I meditate? Like, just looking for different outlets other than run into the bottle. I told myself in the beginning of 2020, I want to take this year and see what my mind can do without liquor. So from January, I haven't drank any alcohol.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Maybe taking a sip of wine. Thank you. Maybe a sip of wine here and there, but even then I'm like, ugh, no, I don't need it. I don't want it. And this is coming from a heavy drinker. I mean, I was a heavy drinker.
I know.
So, I mean, just having a healthy environment has helped a lot, and definitely my parents and my partner.
That's awesome.
Those three individuals right there keep me going. Like,
there's nothing like having a strong support system.
Right.
It's priceless.
And seeing my mom still wanting to be active, seeing my dad, like, he literally just left before we started this. We just did a workout together.
Awesome. That's my dog too.
Yeah, just keeping, you know, the family together. That's really been the inspiration. Like,
that's awesome. That's awesome. So was pretty much grounding you as having a healthy environment on a daily basis. So people have two decisions to make. They can even be the one that help, or they could be the one that's getting helped. and
Right.
you decided to take the initiative because you have so many people watching you, you have so many people following you, so many people that look up to you. So instead of, you know, being the one that's being helped, you're being the one that's helping. And
Right.
at the end of the day, it comes from just having a strong structure of a family environment, which is awesome. I appreciate that, because at the same time, like, I be feeling sorry. I'm not gonna say feel sorry. Let me take that back. I be feeling concerned about people that's by themselves. So it's crazy because I told myself, you know, about 5 weeks ago, each and every single day, I'm going to FaceTime 3 of my friends that I know that's by themselves at this time. And I've been sticking to the guns, right? And at first I'm like, damn, maybe this could, maybe I don't have time for this, because I really, like, 24 hours not enough time for me some days, you know,
I
but
know.
it go by so fast, right? So
Man.
I'm like, am I bothering, like, the people when I do this? But I remember one day, like, every Monday I'm calling this person. Every Tuesday I'm calling this person. And one Monday I forgot to call my little cousin. He hit me up at like 12:30 at night, which is considered Tuesday morning. Like, yo, I missed that FaceTime today. I was like,
Oh,
oh, I crazy, right?
it's working.
Yeah, I was like, it's working. I was like, the last time I talked to you last Monday, you seemed like you was kind of pissed at me. I wasn't pissed at you, you just was being you, like telling me what you think I should do, and I should do this, and I should go do that, and yeah,
Hey.
being Father K. I mean, so I didn't call him. I mean, really, I got busy, but then I was like, all right, it's like 11 o'clock. He's probably asleep. Let me not call him. But then when he hit me up at 12:30, you know, in the morning, so, yo, I missed that call today. I was like, you know something? We really, really make impacts on people we don't know.
We don't know. Like, and that's something that always gets me, like, not even so much, like, nothing has ever been monetary for me. Nothing. It's been so much like the lives that I see impacted and transformed and
Right.
changed. And it's just like, wow. Like,
Right.
even from maybe just one post, you know, this is my transformation. I just posting a picture and they're like, what? And, you know,
Wow.
people get inspired with that. And it's like, all right, cool. Here's a little bit of my journey. Here's a little bit of this. And, you know, you just keep sprinkling and people are watching.
Right. They are.
Even if you don't want to be on the spotlight is there. It's all on how you use it. And if you don't want to use it, all right, you know, let someone else do their thing.
That's
like,
awesome. Yeah,
know,
that's facts. I got one question, and then we're going to take 5 questions, and then you know, I'm going to let you go about your day. I'm excited. As you see, like, this
is great.
This is great. So last question is, all right, what is your plans for, all right, you know, our president, I don't even want to say his name, you know, this guy decides to open the country. This guy decides to open the country back up on Monday, okay?
Right.
And say, all right, guys, back to it. What is the first thing that you're going to do once we're off of quarantine that you want to do?
I still want to keep my routine, how it's been going.
All right.
You know, I rise, I meditate. Before I do anything, meditate, you know, drink my lime water, drink my smoothie, walk the pups, like, still keeping those things. But I think what I'm doing is great. I can do it whether the country is open or closed.
That's all.
I will say this. I want to go to the beach.
Yes.
I want to go to the beach.
Yes.
I miss the beach.
Yeah, I'm a beach bum. I need the beach three days out of the week, you know?
Yes, at least.
I tell Angelique, listen, babe, listen, 3 days out of the week, I need that beach. I don't care what's going on. If I got to go by myself, I'm going. I mean, and I do. I go, like, before, I'm home before they even wake up, you know? I'm back home, you know, taking the kid to school, you know, making breakfast. So that's awesome. That's a great answer. So you already, I see the growth already. Because before you was like, holy shucks, what I'm going to do during this quarantine. And now we're locked down, and it actually made you want to commit to projects, you know, commit to your garden, commit to your yoga, commit to your 2 babies over there, you know, and commit to your family. And I like that. I think that's the best answer I heard so far. Because a lot of people say, oh, I can't wait for it to open. I'm going to go here. I'm going to fly there, fly this. And then it opened, and you back to working your 9 to 5, being miserable, being pissed, hating your boss, hating traffic. So, yeah. So that's a good answer. So this is what we're going to do, guys, at this time. Mama VJ, what's up, Auntie Penny?
See, she's about the beach, too.
Yeah, beach. At this time, we're going to take 5 questions for VJ before we log off. I think, did I see anything? Oh, yes, Liv. What's up, Liv? Yeah, Game Changers that's huge.
Yep.
That's it right there.
That's a game changer.
Yeah, that's a game
That's a
changer.
game changer.
That's a game changer.
Yep.
So at this time, we're gonna take 5 questions, guys. Give you guys a solid 2 minutes to get some questions up there. VJ, when all this is over, I definitely need to come through, get some yoga in with you guys. You guys need to come through and check the place out. We need to, have some
We
pool
were just
time.
talking about that too. We were
Yeah.
just talking about
Bring the
that. I
whole
was like, I
family
remember
over.
this whole quarantine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody. We was already talking about having like a big old pool party when this is all said and done. We definitely got to do like a big boot camp. Do a big little free boot camp. Afterwards, have some salads, some smoothies. And just kick it afterwards. Have some games for the kids. Like that's one thing. Like what you said about the monetary fact about it, because I got into personal training. I was cool with money. I was already, fresh out of college. I was a sports director at the Homestead YMCA, and I actually was I was working there. Like that was my corporate job with all the benefits and stuff. And I was doing a youth boot camp at that time also. And then they had fired one of my workers. Like I was over top of the trainers and stuff like that. So a couple of the trainers actually got fired, which was good friends of mine. And I wound up doing some personal training, but I didn't do it because I needed the money. I was already making, bringing in like $5,000-$6,000 a month, and had my corporate income. I was doing music at that time too, so I was good. But grinding, every day I'm hustling.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I just fell in love with the whole aspect of being able to help people, and how passionate people is. And then I think, I had a little spurt, like, when you're a business owner, the game changed. So, once I got out of corporate America, we had the nutrition clubs, and you got $5,000-$6,000 worth of bills every single month, and on top of the $5,000-$6,000 bills every month, you're starting at zero every month. You don't have a paycheck anymore. So, sometimes, money start to take control of you. And I was just having this conversation last week that I'm glad that I'm in a space in my life where money doesn't control anything. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't control anything. You control everything at the end of the day, and if you have a strong, spiritual faith, in your higher power, and you have a strong, ability to believe in yourself, that money's going to come in and out of your hands, just like putting sand in your hand, So I like that you mentioned that, because at the end of the day, if you start doing things and don't focus on, the money, at the end of it, you're going to be successful. You're going to be successful.
For me, like being rich is just what I get. The energy is just the energy. Nothing can compare to that. No money can buy that. Like
exactly.
Just to see someone make a decision just to change and to see their whole life transform. It's just like
priceless.
It's beautiful.
Priceless.
Yeah.
Priceless. Okay, we have our first question. My question is for the both of you. When did you realize the change and you inspired someone else to make that change within themselves? And how did you feel with knowing you inspired others to do so? That's your question, VJ. Good question. What's up, Jay Notes?
Yeah. Let's see. When did I first realize I changed? I want to say my first realization came, that I knew of, because she verbalized to me, was from my mother.
Wow.
That when I started changing how I eat, I noticed she would ask me questions, what am I eating? How to stop eating this, that, and the other. And I remember I was still living in Mississippi, and I called her one day, and she was like that she's making chicken for my dad and veggies for herself. And I was like, wait, what? Like, you're making 2 different meals? That doesn't make sense. And she's like, oh, I'm not eating meat. I was like, what?
Wow.
And she's like, because back then she was on high blood pressure medicine and just going through a lot of different changes in her life, getting ready for retirement. I knew she wanted something different. And so with me just sharing things with her, it wasn't even like, Mom, you need to do this, you need to do it. It wasn't like that, because I really didn't know in the beginning either. I was just like, this is what I'm doing. This is how I feel. I feel great. And so she verbalized to me that she started eating plant-based and stopped eating meat. And she was like that she's lost weight. She feels this, she feels that. And I was like, wow, so me just sharing some things actually changed somebody. That's when I was like, dang, I just need to share my story.
Wow.
And that's something that also like
testimonies.
Yeah, sharing, like constant sharing. Yeah.
That's awesome. Great answer. Crazy thing is, so pretty much the same thing with me. Great question, Jay Notes. So my first major inspirational impact was on my sister. She was going to, like, when I first moved to Miami, you know, I came down here pretty, you know, I came from Philly and I was grinding in Philly, like busting, like going hard. So I came down here and I was cool. So, you know, I was out here doing my thing, and then it got to a point where, you know, everything stopped for me. So I went and I lived with my sister. I was staying in her back bedroom. And I see that she used to get up every morning and go to boot camp at 6 a.m. This before I became you know, a trainer. And after that, you know, she go to work downtown in Miami. She's an accountant. Then come home, you know, drop her bags, change her clothes, and go back to working out, like going to another boot camp. She's working out, you know, like twice a day pretty much. And I really wasn't seeing, like, I was motivated by what she was doing, but I didn't really get it. I didn't see a change in her, you know, as far as like she hit a plateau. And also mentally, she was just like drained from, you know, doing so much training. So I started training my sister. I've been in the sports and fitness my whole entire life, you know. And it, like I said earlier, it came like the health aspect came from my mother, and the fitness aspect came from my father, you know. So I started training my sister. You know, we broke that plateau. I was kicking her butt. She hated everything. I think one day she didn't even make me dinner. I think one day I came out there to see where the dinner was. It wasn't no dinner. I'm like, holy shucks, what did I do? You know. So I was kicking her butt. She started breaking her plateau, and then, you know, I started implementing nutrition into our program, and my sister wound up losing 27 pounds in 1 month. Okay, once I implemented the nutrition, because before I was just, you know, training her. You know, I'm training her, and then, you know, you want to go to Chili's, we go to Chili's right after that. You know,
that's how we all start.
For real, like defeating the whole purpose. Right. So my mom, she got to a point in her life, you know, she became a nursing manager. So when she became a nursing manager, you know, she wasn't able to work out the way she used to and eat the way she was. So she wound up gaining a whole lot of weight. And then I went to Philly. I went to Philly in 2013, April 2013. And this is when I'm all in with the fitness, the nutrition, and like this is my thing. And I wound up just putting my mom on the different programs, and my mom wound up losing 32 pounds in 2 months. So like my inspiration, to answer your question, my inspiration actually came from helping, you know, both my sister and my mom break their plateaus physically, but what's more important than anything, just to see the glow. Just to see the glow, just to feel the energy and the whole attitude was just different. So that's what motivated me and that's what continuously motivated me. You know, my sister sent me videos and pictures every day. She just moved to Jacksonville, and she sent me pictures every day. Like, yo, look, just left. You know, she's doing strong Zumba up there too. She's doing it online with Erica Luna. I don't know if you know her. Yeah, so she's doing that, and she's sending me that. So it's heartwarming. So. It means a lot. So that's a good question. All right. So J Notes, and the fact that it's your mom, I can only imagine the feeling of impacting someone in a positive and life-changing way. Thanks, J Notes. That was a dope question.
Yep.
All right. And
now
that's it.
And now my father is getting into it, like.
Oh, nice.
You know, yeah, like.
He's already cut like a bag.
In the beginning, he was like, "Oh, I need my meat. You know, this." It wasn't even so much about the protein. Just, you know, that's just how he's grown up. My father is 65. Like,
right.
You know, when
looking like he's 35.
Like, right, but he would still eat good. He just, you know, still eat his eggs, his chicken, this, that, and the other. And then now when he speaks more of plant-based.
That's awesome.
He's like educating me on plant-based, and I'm like, my father's a brainiac. Like, he's super smart. I learned so much. I don't need a doctor. I have my dad. That's how I feel.
That's awesome.
I don't ever need a doctor. I have dad.
There we go.
But he's been big inspiration, like when it comes to just the nutrition aspect and the fitness. He's got me started with all that. But just to hear him now and how he speaks and how open he is to, you know, okay, yeah, there's no meat. Sure, I'll try it. Like, and just to see the whole transformation within everyone, it's like, yeah.
That's awesome. Funny how the tables turn, right? We go from listening to our parents, they breaking us down, teaching us about life, and now it's our turn. It's our turn to teach them some. It's a beautiful feeling, right?
It really is awesome. Like a circle, the whole circle of life. It's beautiful.
Right. That's awesome. So before we go, is there anything else you want to share to the people?
I just want to say stay positive. Definitely stay positive. And, you know, no matter what you're going through, like, grow through it. Don't look at it as a situation where it's like, oh, woe is me, you know, playing the victim card. Like, really focus on, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Like, even being locked up at home, this is trying to teach us something.
Right.
You know, like, what is this what can I learn in this? What can keep my mind positively active, not so much focused on being busy, but
Right.
active.
That's awesome. I like that.
Living
So,
your best stuff. Yeah.
all right. So, try not to get emotional. All right. So, first of all, before we go, I would like to say, it's been a huge pleasure and honor to have you on this podcast. It's been, 3-4 years in the making.
Right.
Like you said earlier, you got to take the positive things out of every aspect of life. And I'm glad that, I hate that we're on quarantine for the fact I can't hug and love and my loved ones, but I love the fact that I'm having the ability to do so many, positive things in my life and with other people's lives. Like I'm having calls on Zoom, sometimes 2 or 3 calls a day, just, trying to help people become a better version of themselves. And I'm blessed and I'm grateful for you taking time away from your family and the structure that you're building and your work to be on this call to share your journey, because at the end of the day, it's nothing more important. It's nothing that you can learn from a tape, a YouTube, a podcast, but to hear somebody's story and testimony of how far they came from in life. And I'm proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm all like, every time I see you, I'm just like I said earlier, my heart is just warm. Like, oh my God, look at what she's doing now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a huge blessing. So I want you to continue to be the great human being that you are. I want you to continue to motivate and inspire people. I want you to continue to consider to put yourself first and then give people you. I want you to consider continue to be the best daughter you have been to your parents, because they're both two beautiful human beings. I want you to continue to be the beautiful person you are being for your other half. And I'm gonna let you go on that note. And I'm always here. Like, don't even ever hesitate ever in life to hit me up for anything, because our paths we're crossed for a certain reason, and we stuck together for life. So with that being said, I'm gonna let you go. Hey, TT Nancy. TT Nancy just logged in. You see her?
Hey.
Hugs and
Hey.
kisses. So I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. I love you to pieces. Thank you. And as soon as I upload this video, I'm gonna send it to you. All right?
All right, great.
All right,
All right.
bye.
Take care.
Peace. All right, guys. So we just had an amazing call. Hopefully you guys got some type of jewels from this call. Like, man, I'm a little emotional right now. It's like seeing like one of your kids just grow up and become like just such a huge success. So it's a blessing, man. It's really a blessing. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. The Fit Rockstarpreneur show podcast is always going to be live on my Instagram every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. And I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your day and away from your family to be on here. Hopefully you guys got some type of jewels and gems. I got so much information in my brain right now that I need to hurry up and get off of here so I can put it into my notes so I won't forget. So a couple key points that I learned and that I love is the fact that she's taking this time to really to build the grow a garden. She's already a vegan, and she's taking time to grow her own garden, so she actually know what she's planting and what she's putting into her body, which is truly amazing. I love the fact that that she took her business, didn't hesitate to take her business offline and put online. And she said she don't care if one person look at the video. She just know that if that one person consistently watch that video, that she's being inspired and motivated by it. That's another thing that I got that is just beautiful. Hey, oh my God, I love you, Auntie Penny. I know I'm emotional too. Oh man, it's like the older I get, the more sucker. I know big muscles and all that. It's like the older I get, the more sucker I become with this, emotionally I get. So, guys, like I said again, thank you for being here. I want you all to have a blessed day. Take this quarantine to do something new, learn something new each and every single day. Focus on yourself, spend time with your family. My mentor told me the week before last that before this quarantine, a working family where the mother and father works, they only spend about 5 hours out of a whole 7-day span with their kids and with their family together, 5 hours a week. And now families are spending between 120 to 140 hours per week. So continue to enjoy this time with your family, enjoy this time with your spouses, enjoy this time with your friends. If you aren't getting on these Zooms, then get on the Zoom calls. My homework to you is the FaceTime three friends or family members each and every single day. Tell them how much you care about them, how much you love them, share some laughs with them, share some memories with them, because we just don't know the outcome of this. So why not take advantage of this now to give people flowers while they're alive instead of waiting to give people flowers when they're dead. Signing off, your boy Karim Ali, Coach K, Fit Rockstar 24 on social media. I love you guys. Peace.